Okay, great. All right, let's get started. So today we are joined by Michelle Plaisance and Paula Wilder, who are going to share a wonderful opportunity that's been brought to us working in partnership with the Fulbright Association. We're very happy to have them here. My name is Fiona Breslin. I'm the Assistant Director for Membership and Administration here at the Fulbright Association. And one of our missions is to share opportunities like this with Fulbright alumni, friends of the program, and those who are just supportive and interested in international and cultural exchange. So what you'll be hearing about today fits right into that category. It's such a wonderful program and opportunity, and we're very excited to have the opportunity to share it with you. So without further ado, I'm going to go right ahead and pass it off to Michelle and Paula to start off this lovely webinar.
Thank you so much, Fiona. Welcome, everybody. My name is Michelle Plaisance. I am a professor of TESOL at Greensboro College in Greensboro, North Carolina.
I'm Paula, and I'm the Director of International Programs at Greensboro College.
All right. Is it not advancing? We're having a little bit of a technical issue. Oh, there we go. Okay. We just wanted to welcome you all here and talk with you a little bit about Taiwan and the opportunity to teach there. Paula and I had a unique experience of being able to go to Taiwan last summer and work with a group for, well, the first year we had an online program, but last summer we actually went to Taiwan. We were in Taipei and worked with a group of very talented English teachers there on some specific pedagogical methods and that type of thing. But for us, it was a huge cultural experience because neither one of us had ever been to Taiwan. We were blown away with how cool it is, how fun, clean, safe. You're going to hear a lot about that tonight. This is the city of Taipei, and you'll see right there in the middle of it, that tall building is Taipei 101. It is was the tallest building in the world until something happened in the Middle East, and now it's not quite as tall as that one, but it is a remarkably tall building, as you can see in this picture. And it's the whole base of it is this really beautiful shopping area with great stores and lots to do, and then you can ride to the top of it and see the city from the top view. So it's really neat, but it's a beautiful skyline at night. This is me. Okay. So what is the TEACH Fellowship? TEACH stands for Teach English Abroad and Change Happens. And the foundation of this program, the core mission is cultural sharing and promoting English language learning and cultural understanding between the United States and Taiwan. It was a newer program launched in 2023 by the Association of International Culture and Education Exchange Taiwan. Long name, great organization. And in this program, American teachers, and I'm saying that North American teachers, which is pretty appropriate. You have to be a native English speaker from a listed country, and we'll talk about what those listed countries are. But since we're from the US, we'll say American teachers teach in K through 12 schools, mostly K through 8 schools in Taiwan to create an immersed bilingual and cultural learning environment. So again, this is a language and sharing, cultural sharing opportunity. And we're going to tell you a little bit more about it, but you are working in a classroom there with another teacher. So you're not going to need to speak Taiwanese to go or Mandarin. You just speaking English is fine. There you go. Me too. Okay. So some features of the program. The program provides fellowship and emphasizes cross-cultural education. So again, as I said, that is the core mission. You can see this picture here. It's a picture of an elementary school in Taiwan. They are very, just like in the United States, every school is different, looks different, and feels different. But the nice thing, and I'm sure this is somewhere on the slide, the nice thing about this program is that all of the applicants are assigned to schools in Taipei or in New Taipei City. So you're in very urban, like many of the Teach Abroad programs put their English teachers out in remote areas that make it very hard to travel and to see other countries. You are in the center of the action in this program. And so that's really nice. You'll go through a selection process. They are looking for very qualified and outstanding teachers. So if you are chosen for this program, you should feel pretty good about yourself. We'll make clear the qualifications so that you don't have any questions about whether or not you're qualified. And they'll be very, very excited to have an interview with you, and you can explain how well you'll do in the program. You'll serve in a full-time collaborative teaching in a primary middle school or secondary schools, also elementary schools. Primary, middle, or secondary schools. So yes, there are all ages, but again, it's primarily younger children that are in these programs. And you will be a co-teacher in a bilingual classroom. So you will teach the English components of the lessons and work directly with a teacher who speaks fluent Mandarin with the students. So the fellowship also provides engagement with Taiwan and Taiwanese culture. So there's opportunities for you to travel, not only within Taiwan, but abroad and to see other parts of the world. There is a focus on the cultural component. So you'll be invited to participate in activities that enhance your understanding of the culture in Taiwan. And it was designed and implemented by an international education nonprofit in cooperation with the participating school system. So this is not a commercial arrangement. There is not, there isn't a fee that is being paid to get teachers to come to Taiwan. This is a nonprofit that's looking for a good match between teachers that speak English and this program.
So hopefully your interest is already peaked and you're wanting to know what the qualifications are. As Michelle mentioned, you need to be a native English speaker and to be a US citizen or a citizen of Australia, the UK, Canada, Ireland, or New Zealand. You also need to have a bachelor's degree from an approved institute of higher education before you arrive in Taiwan. And you also have to have an online interview. In addition, you need to have one of the following. And I emphasize one because some people get overwhelmed and they say, well, I have this, but I don't have this. You just need one of these: a teaching license issued by a state, or a certificate in any subject at any level, or a TESOL or TEFL certificate or degree from a program that has at least 120 hours of student/teaching contact, or a 2-year teaching experience at a public or private institution. And so those are important pieces to know. And you can read about it more on the website, but this is a succinct list of what you need. If you have something and you're not sure if it counts, then of course, all you need to do is ask us. If you realize I am missing one of these pieces, thankfully, Michelle and I work at Greensboro College and know of an excellent program that can help you meet those requirements. I'm actually a graduate of the MA and TESOL program at Greensboro College, so I can speak from a student perspective. And I researched several graduate programs, both online and in person, before I chose Greensboro College, and I was not disappointed. And I also teach in the program now. And so what we have is the ability to get a qualifying TESOL certificate through a 10-week program. We have 2 summer sessions. One starts in May and one starts at the very end of June and finishes at the end of July. And I actually just helped someone today to match up how she was going to meet that certificate requirement. And so she's all set to start in May, filling out the application for Greensboro College. But this is a 12 credit hour certificate, and we have 3 credit hour classes. So you would need 4 classes. You can take 2 in each semester and in each summer 1 and summer 2. It's very doable. So Michelle will now tell you about some of the benefits.
There we go. Some of the benefits. Can you advance the slide, please, Paula? Okay. So this is not a program where you're going to be tossed into a school and left to fend for yourself. You are going to have, as I mentioned, you'll be teaching with somebody, which is such a wonderful support, but also you will get training and support through the organization. And then you will have opportunities to extend your contract. So if you are doing, a wonderful job and you think that this is a life-changing opportunity for you, you can continue your contract after the first year. My understanding is that most of the teachers who have taught in the program so far are extending their contracts. They've decided that this is a wonderful opportunity. You would have the opportunity, of course, to learn Mandarin Chinese if that's of interest to you, but also just the wonderful experience of learning all about a new culture. This is a great way if you're a new teacher and you don't have a lot of experience, or you're just not quite sure where you want to go yet with teaching. Teaching is really tough right now in the United States. And so if you're one of those people that's in a position where you're just not sure what school you want to go into, or if you're ready for the K-12 environment, this is such a great way to build your resume and to get some real practical experience. I don't know if any of you have had the experience of traveling abroad with a group or working in an intense, like a totally new environment like this, but the relationships that you tend to form are lifelong relationships that, transcend borders and people that you'll stay in touch with for the rest of your life. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll have cross-cultural activities, so you can go and see other schools, listen to lectures, lots of opportunities for learning. And then again, you'll become part of this global network with career opportunities. Okay. Oop. There we go. So as a teacher in this program, you have a monthly stipend. The monthly stipend ranges from $2,000 to $2,800, and that depends on the level of experience and whether or not you're placed in a public or a private school. Private schools pay a little bit more because the work there is a little bit more intense. And again, if you come to this program, say with a master's degree or something like that, chances are you can have a slightly higher stipend. This is comparable to native English teacher salaries in Taiwan. So you will be able to live comfortably while you're there and have money for, some decent travel and your living expenses. You can look at some more information about that on the website. You do not have to pay for your own transportation. You are reimbursed for your flight. And that's at the beginning and the end of your contract. That you can see there that there's a cap on that, of course, but that should be plenty of money to get you to Taiwan and get you back. And yeah, you'll turn in the receipt for that. So it's based on the actual amount of money that you spend. You're provided with health insurance, medical insurance, and accident insurance while you're in Taiwan. And that's really important. They have a great medical program, and it's again a very, if you were to become ill, it is not a country where you would be scared to go to the doctor or anything like that. It's very modern, very advanced medical practices. The AICEE will help you find housing. You'll probably end up in an apartment or some kind of rental situation. And there's ways that you can, like if you, of course, join the program with a friend or a colleague, you could arrange to live together. But there's also going to be other people who are looking for places or roommates. And so that's a possibility too. You can afford to live by yourself, but if you decide that you want to have the opportunity to live with somebody so that you have a companion and a roommate, that's something that you can arrange. You will get instructions on how to obtain the visa that you need. The process is so easy in Taiwan. It's much easier than other countries, in my opinion. And then, of course, they'll get you from the airport and make sure you get safely where you need to be.
So I had, as Michelle said, the opportunity to visit Taiwan last year and last August. And I was extremely impressed. And as I have said to other people, I've traveled to a lot of places all around the world and in the United States as well. And I wouldn't live in every place that I've traveled, but I would love to live in Taipei. It's very safe environment. I was impressed with how clean it was to be such a big city. And I am not a big city girl, so I am shocked at my own self that I felt comfortable in this big city. I always say some places have really good energy, and I felt that in Taiwan and in Taipei especially. And I it's by statistics, one of the safest cities in the world. I love public transportation. I love walking. And so I was able to do all of that in Taiwan easily. The metro system there is not a problem. I do not read Mandarin. However, I was able to figure out the metro system. And thankfully, I was with Michelle, and I can figure it out, but she figures it out a lot faster. But it's a lot easier to get around there than in some bigger cities that I've been to. And I was quite impressed with that and how easy it was to get on and off, even with millions of people living in this city. I did not come across anyone that I did not feel was welcoming. They, in whatever capacity that I was in, whether it was just going into a 7-Eleven or at a restaurant, working with the teachers, everyone was warm and welcoming and helpful. And I didn't feel like I had to apologize for not being able to understand. They were very willing to use hand motions, pointing, whatever, to figure out what we needed. And walking around at night, going to the night markets, going into some of the temples, and just seeing. And when we were there was, I don't remember exactly what the festival was called, Michelle, but they were burning gifts for their families who had passed on, family members who had passed on for their ancestors. And everyone was just welcoming and willing to let us see what they were doing. And I felt that from the beginning of my trip all the way to the end, even in the airport. Customs agents aren't always welcoming, but the ones that we had were very welcoming. And
Yeah, and the food is good. I mean, I don't know if anybody's had the opportunity to travel to other Asian countries, but I'm really scared of street food. Like that's something I'll avoid at all costs. And we felt really comfortable eating the food off the streets in Taipei. It really just is, everything is so clean and so fresh and delicious, but it's also an international city. So like we went out for Italian food one night. There's lots of, if you're a picky eater, you're going to do just fine in Taipei.
absolutely.
Huh? Yeah,
I said absolutely.
Yeah.
I also found that things were affordable. And so when you see what your compensation is, if you're thinking about it in terms of living in a big city here in the US, it may seem like it's not enough, but it definitely would be more than a livable wage in Taipei. It's reasonable, affordable groceries, affordable transportation, even going to do a tourist event on the weekend or during a holiday. This would be a feasible piece for you to be able to do. As we had said, Mandarin Chinese is most widely spoken. And I'm working on my Mandarin right now. I'm not doing so well, but I'm working on it. But most of the time, people were able to understand and communicate with, whether it was full sentences and excellent English skills, or even one or two words here and there, enough to make the communication feasible and to accomplish what we needed. And I did not have to have any health care while I was there, thankfully, but in our research, we have noted that the health care is excellent. And you will find the modern and the sophisticated intermixed with the more traditional and ancient even. And I think that you would also be able to find other people from your country, which country it is that you are coming from. And I saw beautiful beaches and was able to see the coastline as well as the city. And so I think that you would definitely be able to find relaxing things to do on your time off. And as Michelle mentioned, the food is amazing and delicious. And I'm not afraid of street food, and most of the time. And I found it to be really good and clean and just a fantastic experience.
Well, and it's such a small country too, Paula. It's so nice that you can take, like on a weekend, you can, take public transportation and go to the coast, or you can go to the mountains. It really is such a compact area that it's easy to see something new every time you leave Taipei.
And so Michelle has talked a little bit about accommodations and perhaps a roommate or not a roommate. But as you think about how you want to live and where you want to live, you can keep in mind that all of your teaching is going to take place in Taipei or New Taipei City. And so if you're the kind of person that looks around at a place before you even apply, you can look in those areas. And I know that a lot of teaching fellowships require teachers to live in more even rural areas rather than suburban. And so I think this is a unique opportunity when you know that you will be in the midst of a vibrant city. And you can choose where you want to live, by yourself or with a roommate. There are furnished apartments available in both Taipei and New Taipei City, so you wouldn't have to worry about having to purchase furniture on top of finding a place to live. So it's common for the apartments to be furnished. And as Michelle also noted, the AICEE fellowship will help you find and give you recommendations of where to live. And if you would prefer to live with a roommate, you can also let them know about that, and they will give you the connection of how to meet people and to find that connection.
Okay, so hopefully at this point you've gone, well, why wouldn't I do this? Because I wish I could do this. It's not the right time in my life, but it certainly seems like an exciting opportunity. And so if you have decided in your head and heart that this is what you want to do, it's best to act early. Applications are reviewed as they're received. And there is, when I say that there's a limit, never don't apply. But it isn't just an endless number of teachers either. So the earlier you apply, the better your opportunity. You'll complete the Teach Fellowship application online. So you'll do that application online. They will need your either the certificate that you've earned or your transcripts from an institution of higher education. If you're a licensed teacher, you'll need a copy of your teaching license or some sort of certificate or proof of qualification. And then they need a copy of your current resume or your VITA, your CV. A personal statement, which is not, you're not writing, you know, a 7-page personal statement here. But why are you doing this? You know, the selection committee wants to know what your motivation is and why you think that you're a good fit for this program. And then you're going to submit a 4 to 5 minute video. I had somebody freak out the other day because she thought I said 45 minutes. It's 4 to 5 minute teaching demonstration video. And I know a lot of you are going, but wait a minute, I have a TESOL certificate, but I'm not teaching right now. It's okay. You can do a mock teaching demonstration. You can teach to a room full of stuffed animals if you want. You can, you know, however you can set it up. But I think what's important, the selection committee just wants to see that you have an appropriate understanding of, you know, what teaching young children is like, and, you know, the kind of content that you might find appropriate for these students. And then you will need a recommendation letter. That's plural, but it's just a recommendation letter. So the application process, it takes a little time, but it should, because they want to make sure that this is a good fit for you, not just for you, but I mean, not just for them, but also for you. They don't want you to go to Taiwan and then say, wait a minute, I didn't know what I was getting into and I need to go. That's not the desired outcome. We want to see everybody be happy. So we invite your questions and answers. I know there's not a large live audience here this evening, but hopefully you'll be watching this video and you'll have our contact information, which I think is on the next slide. We want you to feel free to reach out to us with questions that you might have. You know, we're at the ready, always answering email on the weekends and everything. So don't hesitate to reach out. We can set up a quick Zoom call if you want to talk about something. If you're somewhere in the North Carolina region, we can meet up in person and have a cup of coffee and discuss options. Paula, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I recommend for you to apply because you will also have really good people to work with.
Yeah.
And we've met many of those, and one is here with us tonight. Will, is there anything that you would like to say as we close up this part?
Yeah, thank you. I'm Will Vokey. I'm on the Fulbright Association board, and I'm also the executive director of the board for AICEE and live in Taiwan. And I wanted to let the Fulbrighters know that we have a soft deadline of the middle of March, although we continue to look at applications beyond that, but we're happy to extend that deadline for people who come through the Fulbright Association.
Yeah, I think it's a good match. And we don't really have a lot about timing in this, but we did have some people ask about that recently. And you'll be, if you know, apply for the program and you're accepted and you opt to go to Taiwan, August is the expected arrival date, mid-August. And actually, coincidentally, Paula and I will be back there during that time. So we'll be excited to see you there. But yeah, so you're looking at August, and there is a winter break, just like we have here in the States, except it's a little later because it corresponds with the Chinese New Year. And so, yeah, there's holidays and times that you can travel. And yeah, it's the teaching environment and the demands are very similar to what you would find here as an elementary or middle school teacher in terms of the hours of a week and that type of thing. It is a 1-year contract. I'm not sure we said that. It's a 1-year contract, but again, there's opportunities for extending that contract. And so if you're there and you want to stay there, you can do that. If there's anything else I forgot about, just reach out to us.
Thank you, Paula and Michelle.
Thank you, William.
Well, thank you so much to both of you. And yes, feel free to reach out as well to the Fulbright Association with any questions or concerns, or if you would like to pass this along to host a webinar of your own, that would be great. Again, thank you, Michelle and Paula and Will, for being here, and to our attendees and viewers, both live and asynchronously. We're very happy to have you. So thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.